as you all know, and we talked about right before this, we tend to go over news that was AEW centric, and I'm in the minority opinion here. So you guys will have to give the in the affirmative argument for this.
Uh-huh.
Because Tony Khan's doing house shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the expectation for house shows just would not meet the reality of what they are. Because I think when people hear AEW on tour and doing house shows, they're thinking we're going to get Omega and the Bucks and the Death Triangle, and we're going to get this kind of Dynamite show that they get on TV, and it'll be live.
That Madison Square Garden show from a few years ago.
Yeah, or we're going to get PWG
do you get that
live.
At house shows? Like, is that what you get at every single house show? You usually get like 1 or 2 stars and then a bunch of undercard guys, right? I mean,
well, things have changed like historically, even because like when I was a kid, house shows were where you go to see quote unquote big matches. You'd get a bunch of like Drek, but you'd end the night with Dusty versus Flair, or Magnum and Dusty versus Tully and Ric Flair, or whatever. You get the Horseman blows because I grew up there. And then as I got older, and once I moved out to LA, hey, we're gonna go see a WWE house show. It's like, okay, fine. And that it'd be basically all of your B-level stars. They'd get a little bit of time. There'd be a little slapstick in there, and you everybody gets to do their catchphrases and go home. And it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, great. So what would an AEW house show be?
It almost seems like it would be like a dark type thing, maybe. So maybe you get like Orange Cassidy, which is not a dark wrestler, but I guess maybe Best Friends, I should say, not Orange Cassidy. So probably Best Friends. Danhausen, like that. Maybe that might be the high level, I guess. And then you have like maybe your Butcher and the Blade or Horseman, maybe even your Lee Moriarty's.
Yeah, maybe occasionally a big event, like a big star is in there in a match.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you had a great idea though, Sam, with the strong stuff. So.
Yeah, because obviously there's been the rumor, and we actually talked about this a little bit on our show on Sunday, is because their question is what's happening to Strong, because Tanahashi made it sound like it was going away completely, but then Obari tweeted and said it was being rebuilt. So it sounds like it's not going away. There's been rumors that they're going to mix it with ROH and put it on Honorclub, which is kind of weird in itself, but like match wise, I guess wrestling wise, it makes sense because they're, I guess, sort of similar in style. So I think this would be a good way to present strong wrestlers to people who maybe don't watch Strong, or what they know about New Japan is your Okadas, your Jay Whites, your Naitos, and things like that, and they don't realize that there's like really, really good wrestlers who are like under them and even under that, and so I think that would be a good way. Like, so maybe you bring in like a Show and a Yo type of thing sometimes, because they're here. Kushida's here on and off. He's like getting ready to do a seminar at the dojo in a couple of weeks. So like maybe there's that, and then
he's even with Impact right now, though. I think.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, because he's going to be Hard to Kill, I think, is what was announced. So. But he is still doing it. He is doing a seminar at the dojo. I did see an ad for that. So I think it would be a good way to, and then you have because you have like the TMDK guys, and then you have, or even like, I don't know that they necessarily bring in Aussie Open, which they should, but in Motor City, obviously they have the tag team titles right now, but so they've got like West Coast Wrecking Crew, they've got TMDK, they've got the DKC and
Tom Lawler also.
Yeah, they've got all of them. Like, so I think they could bring them in maybe mix it in with some of the ROH who we think is going to be on ROH. So maybe they showcase some of those people. Maybe they even get a Juice Robinson type of person on there.
But would people be I mean, I guess it depends on. I mean, will you get the super indie audience, or will you get the people who go, "I want to see the people I see on AEW TV"? And I think that's the danger. I think that's the danger right there.
Right. For me, like, of course, I would just eat that up, seeing all of that stuff. And so, but then, like, and that was kind of the thing we talked about with Strong. Strong was here in Charlotte a few months ago, and it was a 4-hour show because they filmed 4 episodes of Strong, and so like we got really good talent, and like that was like Rocky Romero was there. We got the tag team finals between Aussie Open and Uemura and Christopher Daniels, and that was where they crowned the champions. Dax Harwood was on that show. There was El Desperado and Haramu were on that show as well. So like we got some really strong names, but their ticket prices were insane. Like they were, I think people were getting priced out because their tickets were like $120 or $200, and you're not.
That sounds exactly like what they did in Long Beach when they were.
Yeah, so you're not getting an Okada or a Jay White or a name or a Naito even at that price, and so people are like, and they don't realize it. And I think some people just didn't realize it was strong, and so they just saw the NJPW and assumed, and they did. Then it also happened during the G1
kind of proves
as well, and so like I was mad because I missed Tom Lawler by 2 weeks. So I enjoyed the show and I had a lot of fun, but I was like, damn, I missed Tom by 2 whole weeks because he was in the G1. So I think, and so fans didn't realize like that we wouldn't be getting like certain names because of that. But then, and also I think another issue was because New Japan had been in Charlotte before and they came in with our local indie show, and it was a show centered around Liger. And so they brought in Liger. They had Roppongi 3K was there as well. We had Jeff Cobb. And so we had some of the bigger names. And so I think some people kind of thought we were getting similar. I mean, obviously we were getting somebody that Liger's caliber, but I think people thought we were getting that. But I think the biggest thing is they were pricing themselves out for people who don't really keep up with the product or only know the big names.
I think maybe if you restructured Dark and Dark Elevation and then you kind of like made that kind of like the Territory Weekly show, and then you do the old Tony Schiavone standing in front of a cardboard thing. This Sunday in the Cincinnati Gardens, blah 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 blah. Every single the rundown for the shows, they come out, they do a 10-second promo, come back, and then you use that to build the house shows. I think that'd be an interesting. Yeah.
I think that's a really cool idea. And I mean, Schiavone is right there. I mean, they could use him.
And my 2 cents on this has been that I think that one of the best places, if you are going to start running house shows, I think that what you do is start reviving all of the venues that were places that I used to go see evolve and progress. And those places, like the place where I used to go is Knights of Columbus Hall. I used to talk to the guys that work that were regulars there and the people that work there, and they loved us because they were like, you guys are respectful, you always pay your bills, you always clean up after yourselves, you fill our coffers, and you come around and you're consistent, and you always you guys do everything, you just use the space. And so I was surprised, but they loved us. And to me, it's like there's a bunch of places that are very dear to people's hearts that you could open up to utilize for Dark and Elevation and house type shows. And I think that would be a way I almost feel like that would be a better model than trying to make some enormous WWE style thing.
Well, I mean, they're not even selling out where they're going now, but I think colleges are a great idea.
Yeah, well, of course, that's WCW, and I mean, when I was at George Mason, that was like, we weren't allowed to. Yeah, we weren't allowed to buy tickets until the very end because otherwise we would have bought all of them. Because I was in college. I'm the stereotypical '90s GoldenEye and WCW kid, right?
Nice.
So I'm that meme, but worth it. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think looking at more indie-esque or WCW reminiscent type things would sell. I mean, I think the venue would matter at a house show for sure. In AEW's case,
we talked about it kind of like where they film, where they have been filming Strong. It's dark enough that you can't see if there's not a whole lot of people there, but they're so loud that it sounds like it's a packed place, and that there's maybe it's actually 200 people there, but it sounds like 700 people. And so I think maybe running it, I think the venue definitely, they're gonna have to run even smaller venues than they run now to make that work. But that is the problem, is do you get, like you said, do you get the AEW fans who are expecting to see, Hangman Page and stuff like that, or are they going to understand you're going to be getting and there's nothing wrong with them, because again, if it's the Lee Moriarty reps, or I mean, so maybe you send Hook. And I didn't even mean to Pardon the pun.
Nice.
Maybe you send Hook,
Works.
or like they could occasionally, I guess, bring in like
Into
a jungle boy type of thing. Maybe they have, Jungle Hook make some special appearances or something that might sell some tickets, especially for the younger audience. Might be, that's somebody you can market to them, and a Danhausen, obviously, but you can market to the younger crowd too, to get their dad to take them to a wrestling show on a Saturday afternoon or something like that.
Well, I agree with all of those things that you two said, so I think that it's perfect. Did Sam freeze?
No.
No.
Am I supposed to do the intro? Oh my god,
Yes.
we screwed it up already. I thought we said that you were doing
No,
it.
I thought you
Welcome
said
to the
you were
Dynamite Show, everybody.
No, I thought you said you were gonna do it.
I thought you said you were.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Dynamite Show. I am Jeff Hawkins.
No, I got it. Stop. Everyone stop. Okay, stop. We'll cut that out.
Like
okay.
a sheep. I thought you were waiting to
Right.
see if the little fight game
Keep
thing
this
would come
in,
up.
please.
No, I'm sorry.